Hello, and welcome to our introduction to Maestro version 2.0. My name is Ed Zenisek, and I'm the developer for Maestro here at NMSU. Today I'm going to walk you through some of the differences between Maestro version 1 and Maestro version 2. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll log in with my development user here, and immediately you can see right away that version 2.0 is a little bit different than version 1. This screen here we call the dashboard. It's the first thing you'll see as soon as you log in. You can see here that we have a news area for upcoming events or upcoming updates to Maestro. Over here we can see that you can now view your user information at a quick glance to see exactly what department you're in, what your phone number is, those sorts of informations there. Here we have our notification area. Notifications are a new feature of version 2.0. Notifications typically happen at the same time that you'll get emails, but sometimes notifications happen independently of emails. And what they do is it's just sort of a way for you to track what's been going on in your account in Maestro. New notifications will pop up at the bottom of the screen in real time as they happen. Down here at the bottom, you can see some of your most recent submissions, just at a quick glance. One of the biggest differences in version 2.0 versus version 1 that you can see right up here is the new menu system. Now, this new menu is available on every single page of Maestro. If I need to go and view the applications that I can fill out, I just simply hover over my apps and it opens up a window that gives me an overview of some of my recent activity. The same would work for team reviews. If you have team reviews that need to be done, you simply hover over my team reviews and it gives you a list of all the reviews that you have. Those of you who have iPhones or Android devices will be familiar with badges. Badges are these little numbers here that show up next to something that you need to take a look at. In the case of my apps here, the number 2 indicates that I have 2 applications that need to be amended. They've been returned to me, and I can see those 2 applications here. If I'd like to edit them, I can simply click Edit and go right into the application directly from the menu without needing to go into my application page. The same is true with my account. The number 3 there tells me that I have 3 unread notifications. My account is a completely new feature of version 2.0 that allows you to control your own account information. Of course, in version 1 that wasn't possible. But now, if I click My Account, I'll be taken to My Account page where I can change things like my first name, my last name, my secondary email, phone number, and department. Primary email is typically going to be your NMSU email address, and since that's your official email address, we want to keep that static so you can't change it. However, in version 2, you can add a secondary email that will be CC'd on all communications that Maestro sends out. We added this because we found several users don't check their NMSU email address regularly. So we wanted people to have a way to be able to add an email address that they always check, so they would always get Maestro notifications. You'll also notice down here at the bottom of this area that we have some options we can change. The notification pop-ups can be disabled, the badges can be disabled, and any sounds that Maestro might make can also be disabled. Maestro sounds are typically given when you have a notification that pops up at the bottom of the screen, or if you're about to be logged out. You can see over here that we have all of our notifications. We can see which ones we haven't read. The ones that we have read are a little bit grayed out. You can also delete them if you would not like to see them anymore. And you can mark them as read just to let yourself know that you've understood that particular notification. Now, one particular thing to note in version 2 is this file downloads option. In version 2, every time that you want to download a PDF file, typically, by default, it will download it as an attachment in your browser. If you'd like to have it open up in a new window, what you would need to do is click Inline, and that would then follow whatever options your browser has configured to open up files. So if you've configured your browser to open the files up in a new window, then that's how they would open. And now let's take a look at the version 2.0 certificate area. I'll click My Certificates, and I'll get a list of all the certificates that I have for my user. You can see at the top here that the following certificate, this animal care training certificate here, is pending review. Now that's a new feature in version 2, and I'll show you exactly what that means by clicking Add New Certificate. And you'll notice that this screen is very similar to the version 1 screen, except that now I have this question: is this certificate replacing an existing certificate? If I click Yes, then it will give me a list of all the certificates that I own and the certificates that I can choose to replace. If I choose to replace a certificate and add the new certificate to replace it, then the new certificate becomes a pending certificate, and the Office of Compliance must review that certificate to make sure that it's correct. However, the difference here is that as soon as I replace that certificate, all the applications that use the old certificate will be replaced with the new certificate, and it will no longer nag you about having an expiring certificate. So now let's click out of this, and I'll go to the application area by clicking My Apps. Here you can see all the forms that I can fill out. You'll notice that IRB is now only one subset of the types of forms that I can fill out. We also have IACUC and Biosafety. This is a new feature in version 2.0, allowing us to add different committees in addition to the IRB. So soon, you'll be filling out your Biosafety and IACUC applications the exact same way that you'd fill out an IRB application. Here you can see all the different buckets that we have that your applications fit into. Simply by clicking the title, Working Applications, it will expand the list, and you can see all the applications that you're working on. Same goes for submitted, returned, rejected, and so forth. One new feature for version 2.0 that we're very proud of is the proxy feature. Now, other users can do work for the PI. Co-PIs are automatically designated as proxies when they're added as team members to an application. So this bottom section here, as you can see, this user that I'm logged in as has a few applications that they're a co-PI on. This is where you'll find applications that are owned by other users, but that you can edit because you're a co-PI. Okay, so let's go ahead and start a brand new application by simply clicking on the title, and you'll see that it opens up our new application screen. This screen is very similar to what you would see in version 1, with some key differences. First of all, you'll probably notice over here on the right side of the screen that we have several tabs. These tabs pop out and correspond to different parts of the form. If I click on the IRB Information tab, it'll scroll me down to the point where I have the IRB Required Information area of the form. If I click Main Form, it'll scroll me down to the Main Form area. So let me scroll back up to General Information here at the top. You'll also notice that we have a tab section that follows me wherever I go. This is where the quick save is now located. In version 2, we also now have autosave. Autosave happens every 5 minutes after the first time the application is saved. So until the application is saved once, the autosave doesn't function. So if I click Quick Save here and do a save on the application very quickly, and then I hover over autosave, you'll now see that the timer is moving down from 5 minutes. Sticky notes are a new thing that we have in version 2. If I click Sticky Note, you'll see that it creates a little post-it note right here. I can move this around wherever I'd like. It remembers where it is. I can type whatever I'd like in there. As soon as I type it, it's saved. I can change the size here however I'd like. I can lock it down so that I can't move it. Or I can share it with my co-PIs. Now this works both ways. Co-PIs can create sticky notes to share back to the PI or among other co-PIs. As long as this says unshare here, this sticky note is shared among everyone who can edit this application. If you'd like to make a private note to yourself, simply come back and unshare this and now this is a private sticky note. We also have Get PDF here that allows you to get a PDF copy of any of these parts of the application. Get Packet allows you to get a PDF copy of the entire packet, and toggling the tabs simply turns these tabs over here off. And if I click Toggle Tabs again, you'll notice that they come back. So now I'll delete this sticky note here so it's not in the way. Adding team members is very much similar as it was in version 1, with the important distinction that now you don't need to know the email address of the team member you'd like to add. You can simply click the drop down and search for a user by typing in a few letters of their name. Once you've chosen your user, make sure you give them the proper role, click Add to Team, and there they are, added to your team. In the case that you search for a user, and there are no users found with that particular combination, but you know that a user that has that name exists, you can click My Team Member is Not on the List here. That will open up an area allowing you to type in their username and add them from there. Certificate attachments are very much the same way as they were in version 1. You simply choose the certificate you would like to add and click Attach. File attachments in version 2 are a little bit different. In fact, in version 2, you can drag and drop files simply by dragging from one screen and dropping in to this area here. Once you've dropped the file in, you'll get a thumbnail of the file, and you can click Remove to remove it here, or you can actually click on the actual thumbnail to have downloaded this, to download this PDF file to take a look at it. You can also click anywhere in the open area here to open up a file window and choose a file from a list here. Once you're ready to finalize your form, it's very similar to how you would do it in version 1. Come down to the bottom, make sure that you sign the notice, and you would click Finalize. But there is one thing I'd like to show you before I do that. Notice that the project title here is blank, but the asterisk here means that it's required. A new feature of version 2 means that I can no longer, oh, there goes the autosave, means that I can no longer finalize without having the appropriate things put into the appropriate fields. So if I click Finalize here, you'll notice that I get several errors. All these errors are saying that I'm missing all this information, and I cannot yet submit this form until all this information is filled out. And it actually tells me, line by line, every single number of every question that I've missed. And if I click OK here, you'll notice that there's all these error tabs over here on the side of the screen. That lets me know every single place that there's an error. So just as an example, for number 25 here, it says this value is required. As I enter something here, that will go away. And if you looked over here, that error tab flied up to the top of the screen and went away. That's letting me know that error is taken care of. So look over here again, and I'm going to add something again. And you notice that error tab goes away. Every single time you fix an issue, the tab over here will go away. And then once all these tabs are gone, you'll know that you can now successfully submit your application. Okay, so let's take a look at the team review page real quick. If I click My Team Reviews, you'll see the 2 applications that I currently need to render a verdict on, and you'll also see all of my old applications, just like the current team review page in version 1. The biggest difference between team reviews in version 1 and version 2 is the fact that you can now do it directly from this menu without even going to this page that you see in the background. So now I'll go back to the My Apps page, and I'll show you an application that has been returned so you can see what some of the comments and revisions look like. So if I go to Returned Applications here, and I'll click on Project 5, here you'll see that I have a comment here, and I have a corresponding comment tab here, and I have a corresponding comment tab here that matches up with these comments right here. Or excuse me, this comment here. I also have 2 revisions. I have a revision on this one here, and a revision on this one here. If I leave my mouse over top of the revision, you can see exactly how the revisions are shown. This used to be a 2, and now it's a 3, going from the original to the first revision. The comment here says, simply comment for this question. We're just doing a test here. And one of the new things in version 2 is that here we have a little addressed check. Now, if I unclick this, saying that this has not been addressed, and I come down here and I attempt to finalize, I'm going to get an error saying that I have to address this question. This is a new feature in version 2 that helps PIs know where all the comments are, so they no longer miss comments and have to go back through an entire round of revisions. So I'll click here, go back up to my comment, and I can simply mark that as addressed. Another thing you'll notice for a returned application that's different than a original application is that I have this comments tab here. If I click on this, it'll give me a rundown of all the comments that are in the entire form, so I'm guaranteed not to miss any. Simply click on here, it'll open up that window and tell me, yep, it's addressed. Click here, yep, that was addressed too. So we're good. If I wanted to click finalize, I could do that. It'll take me through the finalization process. Oh, well, there are no certificates attached. Typically, the PI and each member of the approval team should have a certificate attached. Now, I can power through this by clicking OK and saying, yes, I understand, and I don't want any certificates attached. Or I can click Cancel and go back and actually attach a certificate here. This just helps our PIs understand that there are a few common errors that happen when filling out applications, and by taking care of them now, it saves time in the long run. As you can see, version 2 of Maestro is very different than version 1, although it does follow the same patterns. Filling out applications, submitting them to the IRB, or IACUC or Biosafety in this case, and then having them approved or returned back to you, the process is still the same. We've changed the look and feel to make it simpler and easier and to give you much more feedback about what's going on. We welcome your comments, we welcome your praise, and of course your criticism. So please let us know what you think. Again, this is Ed Zenisek, and thank you for watching the video.